John's story is one that plays itself out far too often across our country. He had been abandoned by his father, who had left him and his mother and 2 brothers alone at Christmas time. So the only man in his life that he had ever known and trusted had turned his back on him. So when we met, John was painfully shy, untrusting of men. And we had a hard time at first getting him just to look at me. He had big brown eyes, and he'd look at his shoes, just would only look up barely just to see me. So it took a while, but eventually we developed a bond that was nothing short of love. I loved him as if he were my blood little brother. I loved him with all of my heart. So I'd leave BC, and on Friday afternoons, we'd hang out. Some days we'd just go for a walk. Some days we'd talk. Some days we'd play football, catch, or throw a baseball around. When I could scrounge up the money, we'd go and see a Red Sox game at Fenway Park. We'd sit in the bleachers. Or we'd go and sit in the upper balcony at the old Boston Garden and watch wrestling matches. He loved wrestling matches. There was nothing more enjoyable than being with a little kid and they're watching wrestling, thinking that it's all on the level. John struggled in school. And so I said to him, John, you've got to turn this around. You've got to become a student. Education is a great equalizer. It's a way up. It's a way out. You've got to make this work. And so slowly, John started to transform himself into a student. So one day on a Friday when report cards were due out, I went to see him. And he was sitting on the top step of the triple-decker, the 3-family home in Dorchester where he lived. And by the time I could pull the car up, he was bounding down the stairs with his report card in hand. And he showed it to me, and for the first time in his life, he had done well. He had made the honor roll. And so I said spontaneously, John, I'm so proud of you. And this tough little city kid burst into tears because no man had ever said that to him in his life. The power of our words.